Hello there, welcome to Scrum Positive. This is Vinod Narayan. Thanks for tuning in. Scrum Positive is where I try to look at the positive aspects of Scrum. I start with Scrum, I will talk about Agile, and as we move forward, we will talk about other models and methods and everything. But the start is on Scrum. Last week, I made a video about the complaints people will have about Scrum, or people could have. Something that I heard online and offline. I try to address some of them. I'm sure there might be more. I want to do that before we get into the next session, which is talking about the principles. There are 12 Agile principles, and I wanted to talk about each one of that in a video. I'll go ahead and read the principle first, and you might wonder, why do you have to read? If you know about it, why can't you say that by heart? Sometimes it's not about knowing something by heart. It's about asking the questions, diving deep into it, and maybe even revisiting and retrospecting what we know over a period of time with a new experience and new knowledge that we have gained. So the principle is the same. I read it 15 years back, I read it now, the principle is the same. But my understanding about it 15 years before and now has changed because there's a lot of things that I've learned and experienced over this 15 years. So I think that's the main reason I want to read it. I don't want to miss it because this is not going to change 15 years from now, in my opinion. The first Agile principle is our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software. Now I want to break that down. I want to break that down into a few concepts and then go into it. I'll try to make the video as short as possible. First thing is value. Now, when we talk about, these are fundamental things about Agile, right? Principles. And I've been working it for so many years. So people might think, you know what, why should even we go to the basics? What is the value in talking about the 12 Agile principles when we've been working with Agile for so long? I think it's very important. It's very valuable to go back into the basics. If you're doing something, if you learn something, if you're experiencing something, if we talk to people, work on Scrum and Agile, I think we shouldn't miss what the basic tenets of the Agile philosophy is. There are new things we have learned, new technologies, new tools, new ways of thinking. As human beings, we have understood more about ourselves as an individual, as a team, as a collective. And so it's important for us to periodically go and visit these principles and kind of see what is it new that we are understanding from this. So I think that is the value part of it. The value of doing anything is to be able to kind of see it even when time passes. Now there are three aspects in that particular principle. One is priority, and one is customers, and the other one is continuous delivery. There's 3 points that I want to give. Priority, highest priority. So if you look at the Agile principle, and I'll share the link where you can see all the Agile principles, it talks about the highest priority. What's the highest priority? Now, as an individual, you have a priority. As a team, you have a priority. As an organization, as a department, you have a priority. Now, if you look at an organization, the organization's priority is to make profits, which means you have more customers, you make more profits. But is more customers the priority? Sometimes I think it's not the more customers, it is having customers who are satisfied and retaining those customers and maybe even having them as repetitive customers, repeat customers. Now these are all important things. Now they have to be satisfied. You as an organization should be giving value to them. And that's what really means, right? So that is going to be the top priority. But at the same time, when you have an organizational priority, we should also look at what is a priority on a team level. What is a priority on an individual? Sometimes we just talk about the organizational priorities and we miss the people part of it, the team part of it. Sometimes we'll talk about the team, but we forget the fact that the team is composed of people. It has a lot of people, and people have their own priorities, their own individual priorities. How do we align all these things together? So I think, though that is not mentioned in the principle, I think when we talk about that principle, when we talk about highest priority, we should understand the different priorities people have at different levels. And when we are working in an organization, our priority is for our customers. So that's our highest priority. That doesn't mean we don't have other priorities. But all our other priorities, if we don't align that with the priority of towards customers, then this whole point of having an organization and moving the organization forward kind of doesn't make sense. Now, customers can be internal customers and external customers. I'm not saying that it's only the internal customers or only the external customers who pay for the services. There are internal customers who make the business run. If you support and serve your internal customers, you make your organization efficient, which in turn would create services, products, and value for your end customer. And that way, the organization would grow. The next one, highest priority, is what we referred. And the other one is satisfied customers. What is a satisfied customer? How can you satisfy customers? We have heard people say, customer is the king. I don't like this term, king, because I don't think we should consider it that way, because it's a collaborative relationship with your customer. It's not that the customers, you do anything to satisfy the customer. It's not doing anything. Sometimes customers might not know exactly what is valuable for them. It's being a partner with your customer. So when your goal is to satisfy customers, that doesn't mean giving customers what they want. Satisfying customers and giving customers what they want are two different things. Now, customers would say that I want this. And if they don't know that's exactly what they want, and they say they want it because they think they want it, and you have not had a communication, you have not tried to dig deeper into what makes the customer satisfied now and in the long run, you would go ahead and deliver what the customer asks for. Later on, the customer will figure out that that's not what I want, and the customer is going to be unhappy. Now, you might have done exactly what the customer wants. You can show your contract, say that I delivered what it is. But at the end of the day, what happened is that the customer is not satisfied. Will the customer continue being a customer? Will the customer be a repeat customer for you? No. It depends on how you deal with the customer. But I think satisfying customer, we need to talk about satisfaction. We need to talk about value. We need to talk about what is the best way we can deliver something so that the customer is satisfied. I think that's very important. And now the third one is early and continuous delivery. So before Agile, the world was different. You take the requirement during the start of the year, say, and then you will go ahead and gather all the requirements and everything, and then you'll go ahead and develop a software. And then develop the software, and then say that you deliver the software in December after 12 months. Now, business scenarios would have changed. Everything would have changed. So sometimes you would have gathered a requirement from the customer during a business environment that existed in January, which earlier it was okay because business environments did not change that drastically. But now we are in a time when business environments and everything change quite drastically. So 12 months is a long period, and there's a lot of things that can change for a business during that 12 months. So what used to happen is that you go ahead and deliver something in December, you figure out that requirements have changed. You figure out the business scenarios have changed. You figure out that the people who wanted that particular requirements are no more with the company. A lot of things have changed. So what was asked for 100% if you deliver in December, that would only make about 50 or 60% of what is really needed. The 40% was not even identified when you started taking those requirements. So this is an important aspect. So the solution for that is continuous delivery. Continuous delivery is that whether if you're doing Scrum, you have a 1 week to a 4 week sprint, right? So you either deliver at the end of the sprint, or sometimes it's not possible, but you, instead of having a yearly release, people have quarterly releases or monthly releases or even bi-weekly and weekly releases. Why is it important to deliver continuously? It is important to deliver. Continuous delivery should be there because that is a time when customers really understand how things are picking up. So the highest priority as an organization, as a team, as an individual working in a company would be to satisfy the customers, collaborate with the customers, communicate with the customers, understand what satisfies, what will add maximum value to the customer. And then we go ahead and continuously deliver. Either it's going to be monthly or weekly, bi-weekly, quarterly, whatever it is, but continuously deliver. But again, after delivering what was initially agreed upon, this is an ongoing process. Your customer will not be satisfied, will not be getting value if you don't continuously deliver to them. And in organizations, every single person, every single department, every single team in the organization, if they work towards this principle, that their highest priority is to satisfy the customers by providing them continuous delivery of valuable software. Now again, valuable software is important. You can deliver any software and you can say that this is what was asked for, this is what we delivered, you asked for this, but if it's not valuable, it's not valuable. So the reason I took a bit more than the usual 3-minute, 4-minute videos is because I think each of these principles we need to go deeper, and this is not the only way in which you can look at this principle. What I want you to do before the next week is go ahead and think from your experience. What do you understand from the principle? This is what I understand today. Now, I might understand more things maybe 5 years down the line. So I want you to take this principle, read through it, try to understand what, from your experience, how do you understand it? And it doesn't have to be what I said. So go ahead, do that. Share your thoughts in the comment box. I really appreciate that. If you want to send me an email at scrumpositive@gmail.com. And please, if you've not subscribed to the channel, I want you to subscribe to the channel because I'm going to go through a regular video session, and I think in one way or the other, this would be a course that comes free to you. And it's also going to be interactive. So you can put in your comments, and I don't have a lot of subscribers at this moment, so I think I can address the questions that you might have, or take that questions and maybe make a video of it as we move forward. As of now, I'm doing these videos weekly. I would want to do it bi-weekly, but I don't want to get into that commitment unless I'm sure that I can sustain it. Oh, sustainability. That's a principle that will come later. You guys take care. Thank you.